Peace, y'all. This is G1.
This is Rod Star.
Together we are Rebel Diaz.
And we coming at you live from Chicago with another episode of And You Don't Stop.
In this week's episode, Claudia discusses the case of Palestinian activist Razmia Odeh. Rod Stars hits the streets to talk to the people about the hashtag #FireRahm. And we have Psalm 1 representing Rahm Sayers Entertainment on Rooftop Live.
For this week's El Reporte, Claudia sat down with Palestinian activist Hatem Aboudia. They were able to meet at the Arab American Action Network to talk about the case of Razmia Odeh.
Hi, this is Claudia de la Cruz with El Reporte. We are here in Chicago with our brother Hatem Aboudia, the executive director of the Arab American Network. Thank you so much for sharing your space and time with us.
Of course, thanks for being here.
So the first question we have for you is, who is Razmia Odeh?
Razmia has been an organizer for almost 50 years. Her village was depopulated. She became an internal refugee in Palestine. And she was 16 or 17 when she started organizing refugee support with her community, people from her village, people from other villages in Palestine, and became a leader in the young women's and then adult women's movement very, very quickly in Palestine. She's been in Chicago for over 10 years. She's been with the Arab American Action Network that whole time. She was charged with something called unlawful procurement of naturalization, which means that the government is claiming that she allegedly answered questions dishonestly on her immigration application for a green card 20 years ago and for citizenship about 10 years ago. And what they're claiming she answered falsely was whether she had ever been imprisoned. The special situation here is that, her arrest was by Israel in 1969, and she was arrested and tortured, viciously tortured into a conviction. So we're not only talking about physical torture, we're talking about, 25 days of sexual torture and rape. It's on the record in 1979 when she was released. She spoke to the UN about it. And the other thing that needs to be known is that the military courts in Israel convict Palestinians 99.74% of the time. So there ain't no due process there, right? Going back 45 years for the US to claim that Razmia was dishonest in her answering of this question, it's really nothing but a pretext for another political attack on our community and the leaders in our community.
Is Razmia's case part of an effort on behalf of the U.S. authorities to persecute Palestinian activists? When
you're doing effective, impactful work, you get repressed for it. And so that goes back decades, right? The federal law enforcement attacks on the Black Panthers and the Black Liberation Movement, on the Chicano Liberation Movement, on the American Indian Movement, all these, movements of oppressed nationality folks who are trying to, transform society and that sort of thing. Palestinians and our supporters across the world are starting to make a dent. Israel is being isolated. It's being, understood to be the racist, colonialist, apartheid state that it is. And so the US government doesn't want that to happen. It doesn't want that to permeate across American society and that sort of thing, because Israel plays this strategic role for US imperialism in the region. And so they have to continue to support Israel the way they do. And they have to convince the United States public that Israel needs to be supported as well. And how do you do that is you devastate Palestinian society, as is happening now with the Israeli attacks on the West Bank and Jerusalem and Gaza. And then you also go after the organizers and the leaders and the institutions here.
Today we're talking about Mayor Rahm Emanuel. What are your views on Mayor Rahm Emanuel?
He's just a you know what I'm saying? Hey, just making this shit look pretty, but fucking the neighborhood kids up for on bullshit. Motherfuckers getting shot the up. He don't give a as long as it make it look pretty, he ain't gonna be in office no more.
He put in some bike lanes, I guess that's kind of nice, but he closed a lot of schools, which is pretty shitty. And I think that his TIF funding is pretty much bullshit, honestly. He's not putting the money in the right places.
Why do we need bike lanes? That's unnecessary money. He's spending on his own conveniences. He's not thinking of what the people need in the city.
Seems like a good guy. I don't know too much about him. He's done a pretty good job since he took over, I think.
What's the state of Chicago in right now under his control?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely not a corrupt city at all, so that's good. I mean, you can tell just by looking at all the different neighborhoods that they're all maintained the same and that everything stays consistent. And, like, money has nothing to do with it, obviously, so that's good.
Rahm Emanuel, the man that put Obama in office, doing his thing in Chicago. Rahm, you're failing. I'm ghetto out of Wicker Park, and every day I'm seeing the west side, the south side getting shot. You put Obama in the house, and Hadia Pendleton got killed by Obama's house. How the hell are you getting approval ratings? If I was Rahm Emanuel's boss, and not my name was Brother Donald Trump, I would look Rahm Emanuel in the face and say, Rahm, you're fired.
Peace, peace, y'all. Another Rooftop Live. Today we are in Chi City. We are here with Psalm 1, First Lady of Chicago Hip Hop, First Lady of Rhyme Sayers Entertainment. She's about to kill the game for y'all. We wanted to talk to her for a little bit beforehand. Who is Psalm 1 and what do you represent?
I guess I just represent normal, everyday people who do extraordinary things. Like I'm a girl from Inglewood, from the hood, but I went to school for chemistry, which is pretty extraordinary for my life, and then got offered a record deal. One of those people who really just think that dreams do come true because I'm living two of them. I'm just a really fortunate person to be able to make it out of the hood and do such great work.
So you're known, Psalm, as the First Lady of Rhyme Sayers. For me, you're the First Lady of Chicago Hip Hop, period. But share a little bit about what your experience has been like working with Rhyme Sayers and you being the female representative for Rhyme Sayers.
I was finishing up college and had done a couple of songs just locally. My first show in Minneapolis was actually opening for Idea. Rest in peace to Idea. Brother Ali, I had visited down at U of I where I was studying. He did a show and I actually rapped to him in his ear that night, first night I met him, and he remembered me. So next year they came down and played with Atmosphere, and I said, let's do a song, and he said, okay, and it happened. So after we did the song, he brought me to Rhyme Sayers and said, you guys really need to be paying attention to her a lot more. So I was able to get a deal out of it, and yeah, it's been an amazing ride. Like, it's been very interesting. I mean, personally, I am not a priority artist on Rhyme Sayers, so I've had my challenges with the label, but they've always given me like a really good platform to do my thing, to travel, to eat off of, so it's been really cool.
And you don't stop, Psalm 1, Rooftop Live. She is rocking the joint, Queen Intel, produced by The Moment, Chicago classic, Psalm 1, Rooftop Live, and you don't stop, let's go.
Oh my goodness, you're too kind. Shout out to The Moment. Yeah. Thanks for I said, f*** you to Nespresso, trying to get me all addicted. When I wake up in the AM, I'm thankful and committed. This crystal life is fitted, trying to get that buzz to snap back. All this education, get all these folks to back that. From me all you want to, but I got these banging smoothies. Bitterness don't change you, that lemon head don't change. Living, proving, present principles and petty anguish. Miss me with that super hater, I just came to sing. Keep it on my schedule, honor my finesse, man. Got my CD clicked up, trying to rumble for some web thing. Market and promotion, what happened to your fresh tape? Oh, you look good though, better cash your checks while you can. By popular demand, you just have to understand that you stepping in the land of the Wendy's illest, and you just don't stand up to greatness in the stands of the champion demands of my city limit. My city limit, get it back right from all this hotness. Everybody pointing fingers, everybody is the problem. We in the basement, taking shit away from talent. It took me 9 years just to link with Panic. That whole lick, stupid sorry moment. I promise I will never postpone moments, cause it's golden, impossible to hold on and focus when you too busy rolling on that house. Rolling, and you'll notice, guess it's what? That is hopeless. Tell them who is Fluffy, that's right. We gonna bring the hook in right here. I said my auntie was a player and my uncle was a preacher, sipping on a bottle about the size of your ego. Used to rep the choir and my range was alto. Now I'm like the flyers in my lane from Chicago. Oh, and I don't ride big, but I got the money for the ticket on the rims. Feeding all my friends while you... I said I'm queen to the world ends, queen to the world ends. Alright. I said I'm queen to the...
ends, queen to the world
Alright. I said I'm
to the world.
Queen to the, I said Wicker Park to Pilsen, Evanston.